Escape from Titanic is about the ship owner Bruce Ismay, who he finally dies and goes to the River Styx. And before he can cross to the afterlife, he has to face all of his spirits that are being haunted with because he got in a lifeboat when he wasn't supposed to. It's kind of like a dark tale about how he has to cope with these ghosts haunting him and how he tries to change that, make himself a better person.
What they see in this and live through what they had to live through, and I get the experience of knowing what they felt. Does that change you? Yep. Leads me on a journey.
There's just so much historical documentation. And again, that comes from the fascination of tragedy. We like watching other people suffer, unfortunately, but it's the truth. It's why we go to the. It's exactly why we go to the movies. But at the same token, it allows us to get in touch, with our own emotions in a safe space. So that's something very important to remember and cherish what we do have.
Could you have prevented the accident?
We had the finest ship in the world, and we appointed as a commander none in which we had absolute confidence. Why people try to make me responsible for this horrible disaster, I cannot imagine.
I play Ismay, who is the ship owner and the managing director of the White Star Line. These are the trials that he has to go through in his own mind, I believe, in his dying experience before he's even allowed to die and be finished with his life.
Karen is kind of like a gatekeeper towards guarding the gate between Ismay's real life, or his physical life, to his afterlife. And he's testing Ismay before he's allowed to go and cross into the afterlife. He's forcing Ismay to really understand what he did and what his actions did to other people and how his actions compared to those other people on the ship.
I think it's one of the saddest stories I've ever heard in the history of my life because she loses her two teenage sons, and what's really interesting about her in this play is that a scene before she loses her sons, another boy gets to get on the ship, or out of the ship, and to play that and to have that kind of tragedy happen to me is an experience, and I'm really fortunate to be able to play someone so in depth.
I play multiple characters. However, my favorite character would have to be Colonel Gracie. And the reason why I like him so much is because he was a survivor. He was just an ordinary passenger on the ship, and because he was going around helping the crew, helping all the passengers get on the lifeboats, and like going around and helping in every way that he could, because he felt that it was his duty. It's very human. Like it's such a good thing for someone to do, and like I really like that, because I feel like I would like to say that would be something that I would do, in a case like that, in a situation like that.
This was a play that none of us ever saw before until we started seeing it in rehearsal. And we really didn't know what it was going to do until you all showed up and we had the actual performance going on for an audience.
I truly believe, like what he said about the husbands and the wives. Like, how would the wives feel if the husband never came home? It's, to be honest, I would probably do the same thing. If I would look for other women, but I had to get on the boat.
Your first instinct, if there's someone that you love that's in danger, is probably to help them. And so I definitely would have gone back and probably later, as the boat was being swamped, realized that it wasn't a great idea. But like, my first instinct would be to go back and save whoever was with me.
You dove in for a pig. Imagine what you did for a guy.
It's kind of like if you had a family to return back to at home or wherever you were supposed to be going to, you'd kind of have to debate if you wanted to risk your life for that.
Like Ryan said about survival of the fittest, it's really weird how some people survive for something that they have like done, because like, you know, the captain, he died and a couple of the crewmen have died, but my character Jugan, he survived only because he was drunk. That's how he survived, because of the amount of liquor that he got in his body.
The dialects were the hardest part, but through this rehearsal time that we were given, we were able to get these dialects, and we're getting better each time we perform, I believe. So, yeah.
I couldn't get my New Jersey Yankee-ish accent until probably 5 days before we opened, because that's how hard some of these accents can be and how stressful it gets.
Mine took 6 hours, 4 movies, and 2 emotional breakdowns. That's how I do mine.
All the English accents, there are so many. So many.
There's like 12 different English accents.
That's British Yankee.
It's the ultimate story about an ordinary person in extraordinary situations. So.